All right, with Alex Hosu, with short film playing at the Horror Film Festival. How do I pronounce your short film? Well, how would I pronounce it?
It's Guillotine, the name for the international competitions. It's Guillotina in
Giratina, and
yeah,
that's Romanian.
yeah. That's Romania.
Obviously, you made the film in Romania, right?
Yeah.
So tell me
I
about this
from
this
here.
horror.
I studied here. Yeah.
So tell me about this horror film. It was done at your school.
Yeah. It's my master degree movie for college. Uh, in Romania, we have a little bit. We put importance on school film, and I did it because it's easier to begin in college. You have the equipment from them and all kind of stuff that you wouldn't have if you were doing it alone.
Of course. Yeah, because but you have like the people, the budget, the kind of the camera equipment and everything, I guess, right?
Yeah, part of the budget, part of it, I use my own money because it was expensive. The makeup, it was expensive. The location was expensive, and it was a bit over the school possibilities.
Gotcha. But did you pass the class?
Yeah, I passed the class. I also got my master degree. Sorry for my camera.
No, no problem.
It's weird.
It's being cinematic right now.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like it was doing the traveling. It
Yeah.
was like, oh my God,
What?
he he finished the class.
Who's that? What?
The camera is that.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I totally missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So guillotine. So basically, where did this idea come from to make this film? You wrote the screenplay, correct? Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote the story. A screenwriter, Catalina Popescu, wrote the actual script.
Okay.
And I don't know. I usually like to start from an idea when I start writing a story, and it was this phrase that came to me once: the guillotine of the soul is guilt, and I kind of went from there.
So what is guillotine? What is the definition of guillotine? Because what my definition is that it's a device that cut off people's heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my definition
That's
too.
the definition. Okay, that's a
Yeah, yeah, because guilt for me, like I'm a person that always felt a pressure to
yeah,
be the best, to perform at a certain level,
yeah.
and when I always felt guilty when I wasn't there. And for me, that's why guilt is such an important thing,
Yeah.
in the movie and in life in general.
So let's just assume that guillotines aren't used, the physical guillotines aren't used as much as they did in the past. Let's assume that people don't use devices to cut off people's heads in the world that we live in today.
Yeah. Let's assume.
So, but I love the idea of guilt, right? So, there's a tragedy. The couple's trying to rebuild their relationship. He's obviously consumed, well, not obviously, but he's consumed by guilt of the tragedy, and he can't get past that guilt, right?
Yeah.
And then everything's kind of like not said, which is very realistic in life, right? Where usually when someone's feeling guilty about something, they don't really express that emotion, right?
Yeah, and even if the person that you feel guilt to
Yeah.
says you don't have to feel guilty, it wasn't your fault, you're feeling more guilty.
Sure.
That's the
Yeah.
sick part of it somehow,
And it
like
comes
it's
out in
always
different ways. That emotion comes out in different ways, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And then which makes for the relationship not to go even worse than what it is, right? So
Yeah, I guess at some point that's why I chose to materialize the feeling,
yeah,
because it's really important, because it gets stronger and stronger and bigger somehow.
yeah,
And it's important that um, he doesn't like he sees his wife for his wife, but the moment she says the words "you were the one driving,"
Yeah.
that pushed him over the edge,
Yeah.
and he felt he lost her, and sadly, that's why he murders her. That's why he confounds her with the guilt he's feeling.
Yeah. That
Because,
said, she's the one
uh,
who kissed him while he was driving, right?
sorry?
She was the one who kissed him while he was driving, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I found it somehow ironic.
yeah. But it's just like kind of like gig. Yeah. Yeah. And it is interesting where like they talk about that, like where there's like a tragedy or an accident within relationships, like a tragedy, like a child dies, like 90% of the relationships don't make it, right? Because they
Yeah.
can't get over that tragedy. They can't get over that hump because all
It,
the
it,
dynamics of their love and their connection is changed, right? So
I know maybe from my movie you didn't get that, but I am a romantic kind of guy,
yeah.
and um,
No, I could see it. I see it in
it,
your film. Even though
it's
it is a horror. Yeah, I get it.
it's very sad that somehow I chose um, this thing with the birth of a dead child because it's truly horrifying because a kid should be like the a child the um a child being born is like the absolute of a relationship of
Yeah.
a
You're
love between
supposed
two
to die
people.
before your kids die. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's horrible.
yeah,
But it's also sad because it's kind of like they're the top of their when they're at the top of their love dies somehow, you know.
yeah. And so yeah, that's the connection. So, but you kind of use the horror kind of genre to tell this story, I guess, right?
For me, horror is really when I was in college, because now I'm done with college. Uh, it was really horror is a really underrated genre,
Yeah,
and the teacher somehow disapprove in a way of you doing horror because it's expensive, because it can be really I don't know, stupid, don't have a certain standard. And for me, it was a battle to reach here because all my college life I wanted to do a horror.
yeah,
Like it's a genre that works with the most important and primal feeling in our evolution, fear. Like we're alive because fear exists
yeah,
uh, as a species and so on. And uh, somehow I wanted to do what directors like I don't know Robert Eggers does, and somehow elevate the horror genre to more than a cheap scare or
yeah.
interesting set design, or to be a complex movie and a full movie.
Well, a lot of them are, right? But it's like anything where it's funny that your professor called it like because there are superficial horror films, right?
Yeah,
That are just there to like for shock value, right? And there's not, and then there's a loose plot, kind of like a loose theme, kind of in between. I don't want to sound judgmental because it is a Canadian series, but the Saw series, right, where it's a little superficial in terms of like let's just do gore and let's do torture to get shock value, but there's really not much of a plot. So that you can consider that superficial, but then other horror movies, perhaps they're not even close to. They're very much, like you said, in tune of the human psyche, and you're just using this genre to kind of show the human psyche, I guess, right?
yeah, and for me, a big inspiration in the story phase of was Stephen King. And Stephen King was the man that showed for the writers, at least, that you can do horror and be a great writer. And
Yeah,
in cinema, it was a bit not necessarily easier, but it was another path because cinema has this visual element, and you can work with what you see, and you don't need to express everything uh,
Yeah.
just in words, and it elevates the feeling of horror.
So
uh,
but you brought up the fear, right? Where you said like it's evolved humans in a sense where we're scared. So we it's our protection and our security. Where when we're scared, we from a physical standpoint, there's a bear coming at us, we're gonna run away, or
yeah.
or we're gonna shoot it
Yeah, but
down,
in
right?
cinema you need to sit down and
Yeah,
look at it. But it's interesting because I think somehow in my movie, at some point it gets more sad than scary,
yeah.
and it isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think it somehow concentrates more on the fear of the character than the fear of the public,
Yeah.
like
So
the fear the character feels.
so the film's got like we were just talking about these thematics in your film, the plot, but from a cinematic standpoint, it's fantastic. It's a really well done film. Nice direction, nice cinematography, performances are all there. Like it's a very well put together. Like I see a lot of student films, right? And from like the top schools on down. And I had to give a double take when I saw that it was a student film because it's like, just because the cinematographer and sound design is at a professional level.
Thank you so much. But it's really the problem with student film is that they usually don't have the time to create a film that it's, I don't know,
But
at a
at the
certain.
same time, people are young, you're right. You haven't developed your skills yet. I'm not like I think that it's really about it's about the production, the design, art direction, sound design, like cinematography. Those creative fields, it takes years or decades to develop those talents, right? So it's hard to get that pulled on a student film.
Yeah, you know, I don't think experience is a problem. Like you need experience for directors.
Yeah,
I think it's more hard. It's more hard to get experience because you can't just make a movie all the time. You
yeah.
don't have the resources. Um, but at some point, if you prepare enough, like I usually uh, battle my lack of experience with the fact that I'm preparing very much.
Yeah.
I think I was, for example, my critique of my film. I think I over prepared with the actors, with the
Okay.
rehearsal. They are, and at the same time, they are both wonderful. Both actors were wonderful to work with the monster actress Ioana I worked before, and it was really fun. It was engaging. They were prepared on the set, but they didn't have more to create on the set, on the camera.
Gotcha. It's that
In that,
fine balance, right? Where, yeah.
at some point, you're too prepared.
Yeah, no, you want to have that. Yeah, you want to have that balance where you kind of like you're prepared, but you're not. Yeah, exactly. Like but you're leaving room for spontaneity and because it's never nothing's ever going to go exactly like you have in your mind, right? So you got
Yeah,
to have you have to be open minded to the spontaneity or the obstacles that occur during the day, right?
yeah, and well, during the night in our case.
Okay, yeah, the day of filming. I'm speaking in
Yeah, I
in
know.
relative terms. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. By the way, the snow wasn't artificial. It was real snow. We got very lucky. Like in Bucharest, it didn't snow for I don't know 3 years in February, and when we started filming, snowstorm, like
yeah.
minus 15 degrees Celsius outside, and it was really interesting to see the like I think the most honest scenes for the actors are the ones where they're honest in the way of spontaneity, not in the way of
Yeah.
acting. But they were in the cold, and somehow the cold got them to improvise a bit. They were trembling for real. Like that was the spark of spontaneity. I think in the outside scenes,
Gotcha.
in the how do you call it? Sorry, my English is not very good. The hole in the ground, you know.
Yeah. So then from a plot standpoint, we're wondering what's going on, right? Like we see you revealed the monster at the beginning of the film, and then it's like, is it in his head? Is it real? Is it like, are we follow like obviously the wife is like, who's fantastic, by the way. What's her name? Irene Katz.
Irini cut.
She's gonna do well with her career. And because she found that fine balance, because really it's his story, right? And these are tough performances from my perspective, because it's his journey, it's his arc, it's his story, right? And she's coming in and she's got these powerful scenes to pull off to serve his story, if that makes sense. And
Yeah,
she does it. She does it really well. It's like it's and it's not like she's a supportive wife. She's her own character, right? So
yeah.
yes.
It's interesting. The character Maria was somehow a little bit bland on the paper.
Yeah.
um, and I had some discussions with my girlfriend. She's also a screenwriter,
Yeah.
and we were talking about it, and she was saying, "No, she doesn't have a personality," and I was like, "Yeah, but I think if I got the right actress, uh, the character will be born in rehearsals, not
Yeah.
on the paper." Because it's really hard because she's such an important character. She's almost the main character, like in some ways, in
Yeah.
some scenes, in the arc. Like she lost more than him, and somehow, I think the fine lining was for him not to be too um, unlikable.
Yeah. Well, because
But
she
somehow men when it comes to emotions and getting through life and being strong for their partner are much weaker in a sense than women.
yeah. Well, I
Women
was
are
gonna ask you,
stronger.
would you ever like in a hypothetical world, would you switch roles, meaning that she gets this arc and he's trying to be supportive to her?
Yeah, but I think it would be a different story
Yeah.
because it's really an interesting question. Uh, Somehow I think not. I think um, I think it works this way, and the other way around, it would be quite different. And he, I think somehow it would be boring because it would be like somehow too close to
Yeah.
what would really happen. Like for her to be out of sorts would be, destroyed emotionally, and for him trying to support her because, like, that's what was husband should do to support his wife. And in a way, I'm thinking about something my father said to me once,
Yeah.
because he said to me that your wife is the most important woman in the world. And if when I was getting born, the doctor asked him if it it should save me or my mom, who should
Would
be
you
saved,
save?
and he said my mom.
Is
Like,
that what
not.
he said?
Yeah, yeah. And I understand, because for the man it's a kid you don't know.
Yeah.
It's an unknown person. Your wife is your wife.
That's interesting. I find that fascinating. Okay. Yeah. So it's a question you could ask your girlfriend because she's a screenwriter. I'm curious what she would have to say about it. So because if
Yeah.
the situation's reversed, you think you're like, I'll give you an example, like my wife loves me, but then she like I'm in third place. The two kids are ahead of me on the love spectrum, and that's how it should be, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously.
So but basically, yeah. So and then and so, but yeah, it's interesting. Great
Yeah.
ending. Great ending. It's like you don't see it coming. Like were you worried about in terms of like when you're editing the film to make sure that that twist works?
Yeah. I thought about it for a while. If it doesn't work, like I asked myself, what if it doesn't work? And I started to go through several endings, writing different endings, thinking about it. Maybe I don't know. I didn't like this. With it was all a story because it's like it was a dream. Oh, such a
Yeah,
surprise. Then I thought about him killing himself. Then I thought about him going to prison, and he is in the prison, and he like knocks his head to a wall, and the camera turns, and we see the monster doing the same thing on the other side of the
yeah.
room, and that was an idea. But I think at some point I was just like, screw it, I'll do this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. My career is over, my life is over.
No, it
Being
works.
dramatic
It
and all.
works. Yeah. No, because this is your life, right? You're making the film. This is the only thing that in the world that matters to you, right? So I get it. But yeah, the film works. The film works fantastically. So who did your music and your sound design?
It's a girl I met
Who your
randomly.
the school is? Like you went to school with or
No, no, no. She did. It's another big city in
okay.
Romania, Cluj. I don't know if you know it. And she did the college there. And at some point, I asked my girlfriend, I need someone to write the music. I worked before with a guy, but I didn't feel him for this particular movie. He writes more rock, more in a different style than
Yeah.
what I wanted. And she said, "Oh, I met this girl, Christina, at some point. I didn't talk to her in a long time. Message her." And I just met her, and we met. We talked a bit about the music I wanted. She wrote a few notes on the piano, and then I knew it was her. Like, I was sure of it.
Yeah. That was great.
For me, the team is the most important factor of the movie. Like
Yeah.
I can have all the ideas, all the creativity, everything, but if I don't have a team I like to work with and a team I can trust, because for example, with my DOP with Mateireu,
Yeah.
I just told him at some point I would like the image to be like a painting of Caravaggio. And then we talked about how we will film it, and then we met on the set, and everything was ready. It was looking like Caravaggio.
Yeah.
It's very important not to be a micromanager
Yeah, 100%.
and to understand that the film happens because of your team, not just because of your idea or anything.
So what are you working on now? Are you gonna work on a film, Sand after school, post school?
Yeah, I started a production company in Romania. It's called Accent Film. And right now we are working on an adaptation, still a short film, because I think you need to get some of those under your belt
Yeah.
before doing a long one. And we're doing an adaptation about two soldiers in the First World War, and like that's what we're working on right now.
Gotcha. Two Romanian soldiers in the First World War?
Two Romanians, yeah. Yeah.
That should be interesting.
But it's a bit different. Like I try to inspire myself from the movie Civil War, and we will also have a Hungarian soldier that will speak in Hungarian. We will also have a German soldier that speaks German, and because it's interesting, because in movies I grew up with American cinema,
Yeah.
and American cinema, every nation speaks English.
English, yeah.
It's amazing. But I like the idea of a movie that you take people from different parts of the world and bring them together, and everyone talks in their own language,
Yeah.
and they don't understand each other. Like it's an
Yeah.
interesting dynamic.
But you saw like did you ever see the movie Valkyrie?
No.
Tom Cruise, Bryan Singer. It's about like they play German soldiers, right? But what they
Yeah,
do is that they start they're talking in German at the beginning of the film, and then they close in on the mouth, and then they close in on the mouth, and then they pan out, and then they start speaking English.
that's really interesting.
And the same thing with Hunt for Red October. Ever seen the movie? Well, watch Hunt for Red October. You should watch it because I think it's like right up your alley. So the
That's
1990s.
an amazing idea. Like you
So
just blew up
so
my
so
mind.
they're Russian, right? And on the submarine, they're Russian, which is
Yes. Yeah.
it's obviously important for the plot that they're Russians. So that's what they say. The same thing they do. They go inside, they go in the mouth, and then they go out, and then they speak English. And then when they need to, then when they run into the Americans, they're speaking Russian again. But
That's cool.
serve the story, we want them to speak English,
Yeah, that's cool.
right?
No,
Like
I
Tom Cruise.
understand. I understand the fact that
Yeah,
English is a universal language. Like almost everywhere in the world, you can find a guy that speaks English, and
yeah.
you can have a conversation. Um, but I don't know. I'm just interested in
No, it's
doing.
fascinating because it's like it's cultures, right? When you're speaking a different language in a film, it shows the difference in the personalities and the culture that they live in, right? They're from. So
Yeah, I was watching. I forgot its name. The movie of Wong Kar Wai. Wong Kar Wai did a movie in America, I think,
okay,
and it wasn't one of his best movies. But I see this notion of directors from, I don't know, Asia, Europe, coming to coming to America,
yeah,
doing a movie, being bad, and then coming back. Because really, it's a cultural thing.
yeah,
Like movies are for everyone because they're really specific. Like if the story is specific to a person, to a nation, to a culture, it will be for everyone.
yeah.
If you try to make a movie for everyone, it will be bad.
It's true.
Just bad.
Yeah, it's totally true. But at the same time, you don't want to make it just for yourself because that's masturbatory. So
No, yeah,
you got to
of
find
course.
that middle ground.
You shouldn't make films like that's what I say to younger students in college.
Yeah,
That don't make films just for yourself
yeah,
because you don't want to see. You want the world to see it. You want the world to like it. You need to give to the world because it's really about giving.
yeah,
It's giving feelings. It's giving a story. It's giving something to everyone.
yeah. All right, man. That's that great film.
Thank
Solid
you so
horror
much.
film. It should get into every festival you submit to. It's that good. And
Thank
wish
you.
you the ultimate best of success. Why don't you touch base when you make your next film? I'd love to see it. And we'll talk again when you make your next film.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.